Brevin, I've been wanting to ask, what's it like? One year you're sticking a dagger in the Tigers' hearts and tearing their hearts out with your last second three, and then now they're all your brothers.
It's crazy. It's a humbling experience. Just kind of seeing it go full circle. Just me being from the area, finally being able to be a Clemson Tiger, and obviously coming here last year and how things ended, it was crazy. So I'm excited to be a Tiger, and it's a little different walking in the facility every day, seeing Hemenway. Obviously, I was preparing for him last year, and now he's on my team. So I get to pass him the ball. He gets to knock down some shots, so I love it.
When you first got here, did they haze you at all because of that
Nah,
shot?
no hazing at all. It was just a good time. We immediately got along and gelled together, so I was pleased from that from the jump.
Brevin, when you were growing up, did you ever want to do this? Is this where you wanted to play college basketball? Can you tell me that and your feelings there?
Most definitely. I got recruited by Earl Grant, obviously the coach at Boston College. He was an assistant here at Clemson whenever I was early in high school, late middle school. So kind of got a contact there. Since then, I kind of knew I wanted to be a Tiger. But then he got the job at Charleston, and I just trusted him in our relationship, so I just followed him there and led me back to Clemson. So it's crazy how it worked out, but I'm happy to be here.
How much did your brother play a role in getting you here, knowing you had that extra year? Did he talk to you about it a little bit?
Nah, very small part, very small part.
Alex, tell us about the trip to France. It looked like you shot the ball pretty well from three.
Oh yeah, it was a fun. I mean, I try to describe it in words, but I always tell everybody words don't describe that experience. It was just from a team aspect off the court to a team aspect on the court. That was a great gelling experience for our guys. So I thought it was a great time.
Any particular highlights from the trip? I understand you all visited Normandy.
Yeah, that was very impactful. Just being able to experience that in person is a whole nother experience in itself. You can see pictures and all that kind of stuff, but once you really get to that spot and realize the sacrifices that a lot of those people made at our age and even younger, it's a really impactful experience.
Alex, what was kind of the biggest, area of focus for you this offseason trying to improve?
Yeah, really everywhere. Just kind of being more than a shooter. That's really what we've hit on the most every offseason. Just making sure that when I put it on the ball on the ground and make plays for other guys, just making sure the handle's tight. Of course, keeping the shooting fine-tuned, but getting stronger, of course, just really just making the whole game intertwine into one.
As far as getting stronger, do you feel like that's going to help you some on defense too?
100%. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we put on 10, 12 pounds of muscle, so I'm very excited to go test that out this season.
I guess, Brevin, where would you say you were physically? I know last season you had a lot of injuries.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm 100%. Best I felt my whole career, finally underneath 210 pounds. I think I came into school at like 212 pounds. I'm like 205 right now. In terms of my conditioning and body, it's the best I felt. So I'm ready to show the world what I can do.
I guess also you've been a great three-point shooter. Is there anything you wanted to add to your game or expand kind of thing?
Really, I mean, I think I've been more than a three-point shooter my whole career. I just never was able to show it. And I think with the team we have this year and the guys that we have, I think I'll be able to pretty much show I can do everything. So I'm really excited to get out there and just show my whole skill.
Is there any difference between Coach Grant and Coach Brownell being they coach together?
Oh,
obviously?
man, it's a complete difference. It's a crazy difference. One is high-wired and energetic, and then Coach Grant is more calm and kind of just easygoing, and it's a big difference for me. But at the same time, I kind of needed it. Coach Grant was more laid back and conservative, and Coach Brownell has definitely been on me a lot more, which I need for my last year, just because I feel like I get comfortable and he won't let me do that. So I think that's the biggest thing, and I'm happy to be a part of the team here.
What about from a system standpoint, just the offense and defense and all that?
Mm-hmm. Defensively, it's pretty much the same kind of scheme, same concept. Offensively, it's a little bit more organized, just because we have more sets and we have more offensive plays and stuff like that, which I prefer, just because we kind of know what we're looking for. So I feel like I fit in perfect, and I think it's just been good from day one.
Brevin, Coach talked about the fact that you have so much experience. You've been through the wars. You've been in tough road environments. How do you impart that experience to some of the younger guys on the team?
I think probably just by leading by example. It's kind of tough to do it in practice, just because obviously you can't really prepare for a game-like situation. But in terms of just a game approach, I think I just got to be serious and kind of just help the younger guys out. And obviously, when we're in those heated moments in the game, I got to just make sure that I'm level-headed and calm, and just kind of let everybody know we're okay, we're cool, and we'll be able to get through it as long as we stay together.
Who are some of the young guys, for both of you, who are some of the younger guys that have really impressed you this offseason?
Really all of them. All of them, from the time they got here in June, May to to right now, it's the jumps that they've made is impeccable. Like this, from a physical standpoint, just being in the weight room, being with them, and making sure they're on top of all their eating, their diet, and lifting, and that whole situation, and then on the court, just learning the offense, learning like Brev said, the defensive schemes, and just kind of getting comfortable with those. They've all made just great leaps from their short time being on campus.
Brevin, with Dylan, just how has he kind of come in, and how do you see him kind of running the show and playing some point guard and stuff?
Oh, Dylan has been spectacular in terms of being a freshman point guard. Obviously, I've been in school a long time, and I've played with a lot of freshman point guards, and I think he's probably been the most well-developed in terms of what he's been doing since day one, in terms of how smart he is, how he picks up on things. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's very poised for his age. So I've been very, very impressed with him and what he's been able to bring to the table so far.
For you, how do you kind of see your role this year?
I think I got to be a legitimate scoring threat. I think my last year in Charleston, I think I was going to be average 20 points per game in Charleston my last year if I was healthy and things went well. So I think the biggest thing this year is just to be a legitimate scoring threat, but obviously I'll be able to make plays for other guys as well. But I think the biggest thing is I'm going to have to be able to put the ball in the basket for us to be successful.
Alex, obviously you lost Alamir, Nick in the backcourt. Chase Hunter back, obviously, but how do you feel like you guys are kind of gelling, getting to know each other as far as the backcourt goes?
Really well, really well. Like you said, Chase, we've been together for 4 years, so we don't have any issue with that. But Brev, I mean, our relationship feels like we've been together for 4 years almost. But it's just it's really, when you have guys that you don't call friends, you call brothers on the team. Like, we're legitimate brothers. We're doing everything together, so it makes anything on the court, be a game and situation, it just makes that a whole lot easier, and it makes us more comfortable for whenever that tip-off starts to go out there and make plays.
I guess, why do you feel like it's like you've already had 4 years together? I guess, why do you click so much?
Well, I think from day one, we both shooters.
Yeah.
So we kind of just shared that, and obviously we've been in school, we've had our fair share of injuries, and honestly, we have the same goal. Like, we just want to show the world we're more than shooters, and we can play complete basketball, and I think we both have that chip on our shoulder. So kind of coming into the season, we both kind of knew what we wanted to do. Obviously, we're going to be what the team needs. We got to be on our stuff in order for the team to be successful. So we kind of knew that going into it. The coaches pretty much not put pressure on us, but told us, like, if we're going to win, we need y'all to be on y'all stuff. So we knew that going into it, so we were on the same page from day one. So that kind of gelled us together. And then since then, we both like horror. I love Michael Myers, Jason, Freddie, all that he does too. So
all of it.
so we were able to talk about that and have those type of conversations. So it's been good since day one.
So I guess you're excited they're making another Halloween.
We actually already saw it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we already got that done and out the way.
Yep.
What do you think? Did it live up to the standard?
Nah, I didn't. For the last one, nah, I wasn't impressed.
Jamie Lee's getting up there.
Yeah,
She's hanging on by a thread.
It was the original one's birthday yesterday, or anniversary. Did y'all watch it
Oh,
yesterday?
that's crazy. That's an interesting fact I did not know
Yeah,
about.
I didn't even know about that either. I might have to go double back to that one.
Right.
tonight.
Right.
Do y'all have regular 3-point shooting competition and keep score and that type of thing?
You know, it's actually funny. We actually haven't had a 3-point competition. We just honestly, like, another thing that plays into how close our relationship's been is our energy. Like, we just feed off each other, off the court, on the court. Like, we just always are positive guys. Just love being around people and just giving great energy. So I feel it's hard to, like, compete against somebody like that sometimes, because you're like, man, like,
Right. If we're in the same drill, we both like gassing each other up the whole time. So it's like,
Exactly.
can't really not cheer for you.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but I don't know. Yeah, we might have to get a few under our belt just for questions for that sake.
Right.
For
Coach Brownell was saying at ACC tip-off that RJ's a guy that's ready to come in and play right away. Just what have you seen from him as a freshman?
100%, yeah. From a physical standpoint, that man is, he's got everything, all the tools you need to be able to come in and play ACC basketball off the rip. But then, yeah, he's also done a great job of making, like I said, making strides from the freshman group. He's done a great job learning our defensive schemes, moving the ball on offense, learning the offense. He's really just shown great poise and great maturity in being able to come in here, get his work done, and put himself in the position to come in and play right away.
Anybody on Zoom have anything?
Let's ask one more for both of y'all. Understand that. Sorry.
Hey guys, yeah, this is David Hook with TigerNet. Just that going back to the trip to France, you've got 6 holdovers, you've got 5 new guys. And despite maybe the competition not being quite up to like ACC standards or anything like that, how important was that trip just for you guys to play together, to learn how guys move on the court, how guys are going to react in certain situations? And, you know, is there any one thing, and this is for both of you, that you came away from that trip going, man, I'm so glad we did this because why?
Yeah, I think the moment for me like that was our last game. We were in a very, very heated battle, and adversity was presented to us, and the way we responded was crazy. And I was impressed with how well the guys did, especially the younger guys being in that environment. Obviously, we're in Nice, in the middle of nowhere, packed gym. Obviously, it's their fans, and it was a very hostile environment. And the way we responded was I was very, very impressed with that. So I think going forward, anytime we're in a hostile environment, obviously we got a team, and I feel like we're a brotherhood and we're a family. So I think we'll be able to survive in those type of environments going forward.
Yeah, to add, honestly, that I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth. Basically, with what I was going to say, that last game kind of felt like solidified kind of how our team is a team. A lot of teams in the college basketball field, it's hard to call yourself a team or hard to see on the court with the guys that they don't look like a team. But I can tell with the guys that we have this year, it's going to be a great team, and a lot of us play for each other and one another, and that was one of the things that I really took away from France.
I understand that the morning of the ACC tip-off, y'all had a 6 a.m. workout, and the freshmen actually slept in the locker room because they didn't want to oversleep. What did y'all think about that? Have you ever seen a group of freshmen do anything like that?
That's a smart move.
Very, very smart. I debated it myself, but, you know.
If you know you're irresponsible and you're going to miss it, hey, I can't blame you for doing that.
Yep. Part of the learning curve.
Right?
Yep.
Brevin, what were the highlights of France for you? Eiffel Tower, Normandy?
This guy right here, taking the pictures for me. You know, I love that social media stuff, so he was constantly having me with pictures and stuff like that, so that was the best part for me.
Man of many talents.
Got more questions for?
Hey, guys, play.
Yeah, hey, this is for both of you guys again. Josh Beadle is a guy who redshirted last year, but, you know, been hearing some great things out of him, the guy out of Columbia. What have you seen out of Josh, and what, you know, how do you kind of see him contributing this year?
I think the best thing I like about Josh is just like his aggressiveness and his mentality that he does not care whether he makes a mistake or not. And obviously that can be a negative, but at the same time, it's like you don't have to worry about him folding in the pressure of the moment of the game, which I really appreciate, because in a lead guard, you need that confidence, and I want to be able to look at the point guard and be like, okay, he's not like, what's the word? Dang.
He's shown great maturity.
Yeah,
he's shown great maturity.
He doesn't fold whenever things go hard or nothing like that. He kind of just like lets it fall off his shoulders. So I appreciate that, and I think that's the biggest thing I like about him.
Don?
Winning without PJ over in France, how big was that for the team? I mean, PJ obviously going to be a big part, hopefully, of what's coming up this year, but to be able to win over there without him, how big was that?
Yeah, I mean, we all miss PJ. Everybody miss PJ. He's been doing a great job with rehab and doing everything he needs to get back. But yeah, it gave, I think, a lot of the young guys a good sense of what we need to do to win without PJ. With PJ on the court, you know, everybody knows how big of a presence he is vocally and as a player. But yeah, it gave a lot of our guys a lot of confidence to instill in each other that, hey, when you go out on the court, you gotta produce, and when you produce, it's gonna be a good time for us. But you gotta make sure that you produce and do what you're supposed to do.
Just gonna ask about PJ too. I guess Brevin, to talk about being a positive guy, trying to keep people uplifted. I mean, have you played at all a role trying to keep PJ?
Oh, definitely, because obviously I've had my fair share of injuries. You know, dealing with 2 surgeries in the past year. Whenever I first got here, we kind of talked about it and just told him just to keep going at it. Obviously, you can't control everything, but you can control your rehab and stuff like that. And the amount of work I've seen him put in is insane. Like, obviously, him being at Clemson helped out a lot because all the resources and everything we have, I'm extremely jealous of that because his process and his rehab just looks insane. The amount of growth I've seen him being able to do. So, but yeah, I just kind of just told him to stay positive and just keep his head in it, and then everything will work out the way it's supposed to.
Probably have time for 1 or 2 more if anyone has one.
Shiflin and Middlebrooks, you hear nothing about the two returning big men. I take it they're taking another step forward.
Most definitely, yeah. They've been in here working hard, doing everything they need to in order to, yeah, like you said, take that next step. And I'm very excited to see what they can show y'all.
Definitely, and especially think with PJ being out, obviously that gives them an opportunity, and they're getting a lot more reps in practice, and that obviously can do nothing but help the team grow in terms of that. Because obviously, if PJ's in foul trouble one time, obviously having a backup big with experience is definitely beneficial in that moment. So I definitely think those two, with having PJ out, they've been able to grow and develop, and I think that's going to be help us long term.
Is that a Pac-Man retro Clemson shirt I'm looking at?
I don't even know I got it off Fanatics.
I saw it the
Had a
other
little
day.
shopping
And I
spree
asked
one
him,
night.
yeah, I asked him the same time. I was like, where can I get that
That
one?
was very 80s.
Yeah, it's very 80s.
Appreciate it.
All about the retro now.
All good?